Good afternoon. It is Friday, September 10th, 2021. And today we got two legs down. In the overnight we were trending up. We made this leg down. Found some congestion. We had, really, I think it was like a break of this channel and two legs to a new low. And then we had this spike in channel. Maybe it's just two legs of correction before reversing again and making a very strong move down. And this was hard to identify this as like a runaway trend. So I mean, I really don't think you could have entered on anything below here. Even this was aggressive. It's a failed second entry long, but look how far away from the EMA it is. But I mean, it's clearly off the trend line. So this was just a really strong trend line, but it's not like the ones I'm used to seeing. This isn't like the ones I'm used to seeing because they're usually like more dojis. But I guess looking back, I mean, from here, after this little leg down, that's when I was like, okay, this is like a runaway downtrend. And I marked this trade, but it looks like it never triggered. So we just didn't pull back to the EMA. And I mean, if you look back, I guess you could say these are dojis, these are dojis. Here's a doji here. So maybe I should have taken this. I was too scared. I only took one trade today. But there was a lot in here. But anyway, let's take a look at these trades from the beginning. Let's take a look at this chart. So So early on, we made this move up. It looked to me like this was the channel. So when we had this overshoot and then this congestion, I didn't feel like taking a trade. But this right here is a failed second entry short. Excuse me. But look at all that congestion. These are all inside one. So we have this bar. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 inside bars. So I'm not about to take that. And it looks like this overshoot leads to a small break. You know, here, close outside, and then we get one leg up, and then it just reverses. And this kind of looks like a failure here, but like first entry, second entry failure. But I don't think you can take that just because it doesn't set up well. The true failure on the 2000 tick chart is right here, but that's too far from the EMA. So you get an overshoot, break, movement down, this congestion. And this is the first trade that I was really trying to take. I entered on some trade that I think I went long here, and then I got out at break even because I was like, no, that's way too aggressive. If it came down here, maybe. But so we formed this congestion after the move down, and this was the first entry I wanted to take. And the only entry that I stuck with today was simply because I wanted to take this entry, I wanted to take this entry, and I missed both of them. So right here, this thing closed really fast and moved down really fast, and it never came back up to where I would trigger it. Well, it did, but after we hit a scalper's profit, so I wasn't trying to take that. But you see this congestion, and this looked like a first entry, second entry to me. This looked like the one leg of correction, boom, boom. And I think I read that right. I think you can take that. It is aggressive because it's not technically a second entry short. This is actually the second entry short, and you would have gotten stopped out, and that's far from the EMA, and it's also in the middle of congestion. So when we get this breakout, you get a first failed second entry long. I like that. Second entry short right here, but doesn't set up. It's not the high of the swing. First entry, second entry. So unfortunately, this bar doesn't match these highs. So really, you aren't supposed to be taking that according to the rules, but that's off this trend line. and that confirms that trend line, and we've been moving down. So I wanted to, this is another trade, I wanted to go short there, and I got ready to go short there, but as soon as this closed, did I come in? Maybe I came in after, because it looks like I should have gotten in there. Yeah, I think, okay, now I remember what happened. I put my order there, but it had already moved down too fast, and then it hit a scalper's profit, so I just got out, I think, if I remember correctly. But yeah, that's a second entry short. And then we moved from this red channel into an even flatter yellow channel, and it could have just been, you could have just played it like congestion. That's what I was playing it as at first. But, I mean, it kept respecting the yellow channel line. So we get a first entry, second entry short. That works. Come back here. This is the second entry, but it's not the high of the swing. You get a first entry, failed second entry long. I don't remember if I took this one or this one. No, I think I took this one. So this is a new high, and you get a first, second entry short, and I was too, I don't know if I didn't see this. I think I came in late, but then we get this lower high. That's also a first, failed second entry long. And so when this bar ticked above it and went down, I put my stop there on an engulfing bar, yeah, got filled there. So this, I just wouldn't take this because it's counter trend, but it does look like this is a range as well as this downward yellow channel. So if you're being super aggressive, this is a high or low back into the range, and it would have worked. And then, yeah, that's why I marked this one. This is a high or low as well. So, and we get this sharp move up. So if you want to take this failed second entry short going into the highs that far from the EMA, I put 2 green arrows there because that's super aggressive. Then, so it kind of looks like a spike in channel that just forms congestion. And I was like, I started to go short here, and I was like, I need to stop because I missed all these opportunities, and it just felt like I was just trying to do too much. And I thank God I got out at break even because I would have gotten stopped out. And we start reversing. First entry, failed second entry. I didn't have the guts to take this, even though it fit off the trend line. At that point, you would have had your trend line like this, and it still fits off the trend line. So I didn't have the guts to take that, unfortunately, but that is a good setup. Just because I've been getting stopped out on stuff like that, but that really clearly looks like a failure, textbook failure. And then we get a first entry, second entry, failed second entry long right here, and then first entry, second entry short. So I do like that. Again, I didn't have the guts to take that because it was congestive, and it was like in here. And you get a first entry, failed second entry long again. And I was just like, I can't. That's going into the lows as well. But I think if I had really understood that in hindsight that this was a runaway trend, I think I should take that. But then here it's like it just keeps going. I don't think there's anything you can take. And that's what I saw for today. And we finally get this pullback. First entry, second entry. Let's see if you would have gotten stopped out there. Uh, 58. 50. So, yeah, you would have gotten stopped out if you entered there. That's congestive. And I looked at this as a double bottom here. I looked at this and this as a double bottom. So first entry, second entry, and this never triggers. So that's what I saw today. Let's take a look at my trades. And I had 3 entries, but really just 1 trade. I got out at break even. So here we were trending up. We had this big leg down, and I was just like, I went long on this bar, thinking there was just poor behavior really, because this is where I have my congestion drawn, and that's not a breakout. And I was treating it like, oh, it's a breakout, failed breakout. And even with an overshoot like that, you would be expecting it to go to like right here. So luckily I didn't go long here because I drew this trend line and I was like, yeah, I don't want to go long. But I didn't want to go short either because this looked like 2 legs down. But yeah, first failed second entry. Oh wait, all right, so where's my next entry? So I missed my opportunity here, so I was like, walk away from your computer right now, which I did, thankfully. I missed that, but that was a good trade. I doubted myself all throughout here. So I was like, I doubted myself, and I think first, second entry here, I doubted myself, and that's when I was like, all right, trust yourself. We get a first entry, failed second entry, long. So I went short there. I'm okay with taking that setup. It is aggressive, but I'm okay with taking that. It's aggressive because this could be a level of support. We don't know if we're going down, but near the EMA, I like it. And then here, this was just not, bad behavior. And as soon as I was like, no, this is congested. So as soon as I entered, I was pretty much in and out of this thing in a second. As soon as I entered, I got like 2 ticks in my favor. I moved my stop to break even, and it stopped me out at break even. So those were the 3 entries I took today. So I hope everyone has a great weekend, and I'll be back next week.